Sometimes one decision changes our entire life. A decision we can neither take back nor forget. My story also began with such a decision. I was 35 years old at the time, married for just 2 years. On the surface, everything seemed fine. My husband was a good man. My home was secure, and my life looked peaceful. But the truth was different. Deep inside, there was an emptiness in my life, an incompleteness I could never explain to anyone. Time with my husband was good, but in the depths of my heart, that closeness, that passion, that love, I never truly felt it. Circumstances pushed me further. Financial struggles and responsibilities forced me to move to another city for work. I joined a big store as an employee. From morning till night, customers, noise, work pressure, and at the end of the day, only loneliness. I would talk to my husband over the phone, but that distance kept growing. It felt like we were together, yet drifting apart. Many nights I would stare at the ceiling and wonder, is this really all there is to life? Is this my fate, or is destiny taking me somewhere else? In the middle of all that loneliness and exhaustion, I met Daniel. He was only 22, but he carried himself with confidence and had an unusual charm in the way he spoke. He often came to the store, sometimes for small talk, sometimes just with a smile, and those little encounters began stirring something inside me. One day he suddenly said, "You work so hard every day. You must get tired, right? Let me take your stress away today." My steps froze. My heart skipped. I looked into his eyes and felt a strange honesty, a softness in his words. I stayed silent, but my heart said yes. He took me to a quiet house. The room was dimly lit, with an air of calm. He said gently, "Now just relax. Leave the rest to me." I lay down on the bed. He placed his hands on my shoulders and slowly began massaging my back with oil. With every touch, my burden, my exhaustion seemed to melt away. For the first time in years, I felt peace. Then suddenly, his touch changed. He leaned closer and softly kissed my back. My eyes closed. My heartbeat raced. An unfamiliar wave rushed through my body. In that moment, I felt as if someone was filling the emptiness that had lived inside me for so long. Daniel gently turned my face toward him. His eyes were deep, filled with certainty. He whispered, "Don't be afraid. This moment belongs only to us." Double quotes. The very next moment, his lips touched mine. Time stood still. The kiss grew deeper, and with every passing second, my hesitation disappeared. The night stretched on as our closeness grew stronger, and eventually I surrendered myself to that bond. That one night became the greatest turning point of my life. When morning came, I knew my life would never be the same. One decision, one moment, had taken me down a road from which there was no return. Days passed, but then I realized I was going to be a mother. The news hit me like a storm. Fear filled my heart. What if my husband found out? But at the same time, there was a strange comfort. The emptiness I had carried for years was finally being filled. Eventually, I could no longer hide the truth. I picked up the phone and dialed my husband's number. My heart was pounding. "Hello. Is everything okay?" he asked. Tears filled my eyes. My voice trembled. "There's something I need to tell you. Something very big." After a pause, I finally said it. "I'm pregnant." But this child isn't yours. There was silence on the other end. My hands shook, but I gathered courage and spoke the whole truth. I met someone. A young man. I spent a night with him. That night changed my life. And now I'm carrying his child. I could hear my husband's heavy breathing. His voice was broken with anger, with pain, with betrayal. How could you do this to me? My eyes shut tight. My soul screamed. But I knew I could not hide the truth anymore. After that call, our world fell apart. When I returned home, my husband's eyes were filled with rage and sorrow. We argued for hours. He accused me of shattering his trust, of ruining everything. With a heavy heart, I finally said, I know I've done wrong, but my heart is no longer here. If I stay with you, I will only bring you more pain. The words ended everything. Silence filled the house after all the shouting. And then I made my choice. I packed my things and left for Daniel. When he opened the door, I saw in his eyes a happiness I hadn't felt in years. You're not alone anymore. This life is ours now, he said. And so a new journey began. Days turned into nights, and every day he was by my side. Love, care, and moments I had only dreamed of became my reality. Our nights stretched long, wrapped in togetherness. And every morning I felt as if my life had been reborn. This is the story of a decision that changed everything. Perhaps in the eyes of many it was wrong, but for me it was the path that finally gave me what I had been longing for all along.